Fran, any public input tonight? For the record, all members are present. Approval of the October 15 minutes, please. Have a motion?
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Minutes approved. Bill payment of November 5th, 2018. Voucher number 20182-105 to 201, I'll say through 201-82254 with a total amount of $178,038.94. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Department heads. Paul Seekman. I may point out Employee of the Month.
Told you, Don, you can't butter me up. This is just a reminder about the local parking law and snow removal. There's no parking on the roads November 15th to April 1st, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. We start out, we're pretty easy about it, just kind of getting the word out. But once it starts snowing out, these guys are out tagging them, and if we got to get tow them, we will tow them. Some people, I don't know, everybody in town has big driveways. It's not like in the city where you have to be on an alleyway, so I don't know why they can't get their cars off the road, but it really makes it hard for us to plow sometimes. And as far as depositing snow, you have a contractor plowing snow in your driveway. He's not supposed to be pushing it across the street into the neighbor's yard. He's not supposed to be pushing it into the ditch. He's supposed to be pushing it up into your yard. So you might want to remind your contractor of that, or whoever does your driveway, because the homeowner is probably going to be the one that gets the ticket for it. Every year we run into problems with people leaving big clumps of snow and stuff in the road. If somebody hits one of them with a car and loses control, you as a homeowner will probably be held responsible for it. The other thing is we are out doing leaves. We've gone through the town once. They are cooperating this year. They're not dropping very fast. Usually by now we're about 2/3 of the way done. We're not even a third of the way done right now, just for the fact that they won't come down. So go out there and shake the trees a little bit, see if you can get them down a little faster for us. The other thing is, and this is partially Don's office too, when you put stuff out to the street for garbage, you might want to check with Don's office. I don't really have a current contract for the modern pickup, but we get calls all the time for like carpeting and things like that. Modern's very fussy about what they pick up and what they take. If you have somebody remodel your house, make sure they're going to take care of the refuse. Don't dump it out to the road, because Modern doesn't pick up a pile of wood or windows or anything like that. And I know carpeting, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't know. It all depends if it's cut up in the right length and stuff. But we get calls probably 3-4 times a day about what will be picked up and what isn't picked up. So if you have a question before you put it out, try calling Don's office so you guys have a current contract so you guys would know. But that's about it. Any questions?
You know, it's a good point, because we get calls all the time to pick up garbage at the garbage man that's not picked up, and usually it's because it's just thrown off the road in a pile, or it's something that the people can't handle because of the weight.
Right.
So we have to need to tell them to cut it up to a smaller amount, or to pack it, or to get a dumpster to put it in.
Yeah, because I know a lot of times contractors tell you, well, you can save yourself a few bucks if you can get rid of this stuff. Yeah. If you put it out to the road and you have to end up getting rid of it yourself, you're not going to be saving any money. So, all right.
Thank you, Paul. By the way, Paul, I think the wind is going to be the 60-mile-an-hour gusts, and the leaves will be down tomorrow.
I hope they blow up.
Rich Donner. Water Sewer Superintendent.
Good evening, folks. On Paul's note, following him with snow, we run into the same thing every year. People hire a contractor, or they plow snow, plow it right up against the fire hydrants, block them in. There is a town ordinance. You can't put anything within 5 foot of a fire hydrant. So please notify your contractors, because we'll be around checking on it. Usually it's along the boulevard where we have a problem mainly, but it does happen out in the subdivisions also. Also, I'd like to thank Paul and his crew for helping us out today. We blacktopped one driveway, actually 2 driveways, where we had water leaks over the summer, and things finally got settled in enough, and we got a break so we could do some blacktopping. Other than that, the 5 generators that we got the grant monies for are up and running at the pump stations. We should be finishing that grant out here very shortly. Went around today and checked. All the landscaping is done, so looking pretty good on that. Other than that, we're around checking fire hydrants. We'll go around a second time, check them, make sure that they're dry for the winter, and hopefully we won't have much of a winter.
Okay. Anybody have anything to add?
Yes, they do. They run once a week.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I believe the constables, I know you're giving a report, they were issuing tickets today for parking around hydrants, according to, the head constable. Robin Zastro, I'm sorry. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, Mike Clark. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike Rinaldi. I'm sorry. There we go.
Couple of things. First, Nerf nights at the youth center this Friday the 9th, and then again on the 16th. And the second thing would be senior dance on the 17th, 4 o'clock at the community center.
17th at what time?
4 o'clock.
All I got. Mike, I want to just comment one. I mentioned it this morning, our department head meeting. I've heard many comments from town residents that your Halloween party was a great success. And I want to thank you and your staff for doing a good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike, I was going to skip you just to scratch it over, but I won't.
You're setting me up.
Mike Clark.
Good evening. First of the month, hopefully everybody's got it in their mailbox, was our monthly reports, recaps of our complaints, violations, court schedule, and again, the total number of permits for the month. So that should have all been in the mailboxes this month.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I think it is.
At the end of the year, do a comparative report? I mean, compared to, I know we used to do like a 5-year, and just comparison, how many permits over 5 years for single family commercial?
Well, we have done it at various times of the year. Now, if you'd like a recap, in fact, what I typically do at the end of the year too is give a recap of the total of for what we've done, number of permits, the single families, et cetera, for the year. But if you want to do a comparison, we surely can run that.
Yeah, I mean, if you could, and I'm not saying because that's what we used to do, but it's always nice to look and maybe go back 5 years, single families, and do a comparison. I'm sure you can computer generate that.
Oh yeah.
And I know it's been a good year, and I would just like to see over the past 5 years how things have progressed.
Yeah, not a problem. Very easy to do.
Okay, I appreciate it, Mike.
Anything else?
Anybody have anything for Mike? Thanks.
Thank you.
The assessor, Bridget.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bridget.
All of our exemption renewals are out in the mail. They got till March 1st, so we give them plenty of time. I'm still usually chasing people in February, but other than that, I got nothing.
You know, one of the things that we discussed at our department meeting this morning was Bridget is going to retire next year in July. And we're not posting yet, but we will be posting for the assessor's position. And maybe this isn't the time that you will be dearly missed. I consider you a good friend also.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Bridget.
I had a question.
Yeah.
You know, in October, we get that tax relief check from Albany because we're under the 2% tax cap, I guess, right?
Yes.
Does everybody get that? Were there any municipalities in Niagara County that did not get it?
This past time, I'm not sure. I know Niagara Falls didn't get one last year, so chances are
So
they
it's
didn't get one.
something that we have to, town board, have to pay close attention to.
I think there's one more year on that,
Okay.
and then it's finished, unless, of course, they do something else. But I believe there's one more year that is in the works.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bridget.
You're welcome.
Constable, Brian? This is something we're going to do at all of the board meetings now. The constables will give a report, and if anyone has noticed, the constables are becoming more involved in the community. They're doing a great job.
Thanks, Don. Yeah, I got a couple of things, and Robin couldn't be here tonight, so he left me with a few notes. Personally want to thank Mike for allowing the Constable Department, Constable Casper Zach, and myself to attend the Halloween party. It was a great success. We were able to, he set us up with a table right in front, so when the kids come in, we were like the first ones they saw. So I think there was probably 300 children come through. It felt like it, because we gave away everything we had brought, and suckers and fruit snacks and chips. So, like I said, it was a great, thanks to David, thanks for putting the picture in there, getting us in the paper. That little infant was our only problem that night, you know. So, no, it was a great turnout. So appreciate it, Mike. Thanks. Robin left a couple of things. We do have 2 new constables. They are through the academy. We're just working now on getting them out in the field, just doing some training. Besides that, we did recently take delivery of a new patrol car, our 2016 Explorer. It's going to replace the 2004 Crown Vic. We did put it in service 2 weeks ago, so you should see it out there. It has all the town graphics, and it's outfitted with dark graphics and lights. Paulie already mentioned the overnight parking. It does start 11:15. We will be out, starting December 1st. So we'll be out December 1st, writing tickets if need be. We're not out every night, but the sheriffs take over when we're not there, so they'll be writing tickets also, and probably if the road's unpassable, probably even tow if need be, because we've been out there and Paulie, his guys can't back out of some of these cul-de-sacs if they can't get by. So, you know, a ticket's one thing, but you can get towed if, what do you call it, if you can't even get by. So, you know, Mark's been out there many nights. He's wrote a lot of tickets. You know, we're pretty, you know, we get breaks. You know, if someone's having a Christmas party or something, we try to, and it's not snowing, but there is a few that just take advantage of it and abuse the policy a little bit. So we, you know, we'll be out there and writing the tickets starting December 1st. Robin also just wants to note that all our constables are currently certified in CPR and AED. We're also in the process of getting Narcan training. This is pretty much, we're mimicking a lot of law enforcement and agencies around the country for opioid overdoses. So we'll be having that. Some of us already have it, but we're going to get it through the town, so we're going to get it all squared away. So that's it for tonight.
You know, thank you, and again, I think we just had a meeting a couple weeks ago with all the constables. I think it was a great meeting. I enjoyed it, and it's nice to see and nice to get the constables a little more involved. I think you guys do a great job, and hopefully we'll keep working well together. One of the things when you do see Roger, was you mentioned that talking with Kathy and John Wallace, they're going to work with you setting up a website for the constables.
Great.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Appreciate it. And that new patrol car was a car that we received from the Niagara County Sheriff's Department at no cost to the town. Arlene Manti. You know, Arlene, if I, maybe not tonight, if I could call you tomorrow and get some information for that, maybe the town will do a proclamation for the lady? Yeah. But I mean, that's 65 years. That's special. Okay, thank you. Anything else, Arlen? Anybody have any further? Jim Zuber, Wendell.
I don't want to disappoint you, but we have nothing for you this evening. The next meeting, we'll have a bunch of stuff for the second meeting a month, but we have nothing this evening.
Thank you. So anybody have anything? Thanks, Jim. Okay, the attorney's motions.
Okay, first motion we have tonight is from the Budget Director. Be it resolved that the Town Board does hereby approve the following 2018 budget transfer for the Highway Department Fund as presented in the motion package.
So moved. Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Recreation Department to hire Christopher Dyer and Amaya Springer as lifeguards for the town swim program at Niagara Wheatfield High School beginning in January at a rate of pay and job terms pursuant to the job specifications for the Recreation Department, subject to a Human Resource Department approval and Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved. Second. A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from the Recreation Department to hire Allison Tober and Cole Kish as permanent part-time recreation aides for the Youth Center, replacing 2 employees who recently left said position at a rate of pay and job terms pursuant to job specifications for the Recreation Department, subject to Human Resource Department approval and a Niagara County criminal background check.
So moved. Second. Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the Budget Director and Town Board. Whereas a 2019 preliminary budget was prepared and reviewed by the Town Board, and whereas during said review the 2019 preliminary budget was modified as necessary, and whereas a public hearing on the 2019 preliminary budget was properly noticed and held on November 5th, 2018 by the Town Board, and said public hearing was closed, now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Wheatfield's 2019 preliminary budget as modified is hereby adopted as the Town of Wheatfield 2019 budget.
So moved. Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
And I have a few motions that were presented after the original packet was put together. This new one is from the Firearm Permit Review Board to approve firearm discharge permits and or renewals for the individuals as shown on the attached list, and those being renewals for Joseph Eddy and John Spenio, and the new applicants Paul Zito and Raymond Coons.
A motion, please. So moved. Second. Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next supplemental motion from Councilman Hellwig to declare, to declare 60 old and unused phone system handsets obsolete and surplus equipment, and to accept informal high bid of $350 plus free shipping from business telephone sales.
Second. Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carried.
And next motion from Town Assessor to allow the Town Assessor to re-levy the unpaid water sewer town charges totaling $96,012.18 on the 2018 tax roll in order to collect said charges through property tax collection.
So moved. Have a motion and a second? Second. And second. All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carried.
And I have no further motions.
Board members, Larry Hellwood. Okay, Larry, thank you. Jill Doucette.
I have nothing.
Okay. Kurt Doctor. Nothing tonight. Randy Retzlaff.
I have nothing.
Okay, I've just got a couple things. One, we were able to, and this took quite a bit of time, and I want to thank my secretary. She's not here, but I want to thank her personally, working on the health care negotiations, and the town was able to come up with a better offer for the town of Wheatfield employees, and we also saved money in negotiations. So it cost us less this year for the health care. So that's a good thing. Also, sales tax was up again last month, and it was, I have it written down here, it was up actually $78,312.85 over last year at this time. So sales tax has been up, what, 3 or 4 months now, Ed? 3 months. So that's a good thing, good sign for the economy. And that's all I have. Next meeting is November 26th at 6:45. Public informational, Department of Transportation regarding the Shawnee Road closure. There is going to be a new culvert put in, I believe, Paul, on Shawnee Road, and they want to give us information on to the closure of Shawnee Road and looking at, well, they wanted to use some of the town roads, but we've already discussed it with them that we weren't happy using truck traffic on a town road. So they're looking at some alternative, including alternative routes, and that meeting will be November 26th, where they'll give a presentation on the closure of Shawnee Road. To my understanding, it's only 3 weeks it's going to be closed, Paul? Yeah, well, I know. Absolutely. And also there'll be at 7 o'clock there'll be a public hearing on proposed changes to the street lighting requirements of the town of Wheatfield. So that will also be on the 26th. Any other public input or any public input on anything we've discussed tonight? Thank you. Yep, Paul. Yeah. You know, I not to jump at anything, Paul, but I talked with a gentleman at the end of last week that's going to put the presentation on, and there's been nothing decided yet as to what their intentions are. And if necessary, they may set up a signal and do half of the road at a time. If there is, and I told him that we were both opposed to just closing Shawnee Road, and he had said that it would cost more to set up a signal, but if that's what they have to do, they would do it. So I don't want to make the residents panic yet until we get something in concrete. Okay? Anything else? Motion to adjourn? All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion adjourned. Thank you for coming.